Early 15th century, Palembang, Sumatra, controlled a lucrative shortcut in the strait. Chen Zuyi charged tolls, kept informants, and attacked those who refused to pay. In 1407, Zhang He's fleet, sent by Emperor Yongle, crushed the scheme, captured Chen, and took him to Nanjing to be executed. A little-remembered detail, the Ming victories signaled imperial patrolling of the Indian Ocean. For a few years, routes became safer and Allied ports grew richer. Without a consistent state presence at sea, whoever owns the cannons sets prices, schedules, and insurance. That lesson echoes later. When the state itself restricts trade, another kind of pirate appears, the smuggler CEO.
If this is making sense to you, subscribe now and comment what you think. That tells me to keep going, and it makes sure you get the next ones without missing them.
In the 16th century, the Ming Haijin policy prohibited private overseas trade. Wang Ji filled the vacuum. He bought silk and porcelain on the Chinese coast, traded them for silver, sulfur, and weapons in Japan, managed secret warehouses, used islands as hubs, and hired Luso-Asian brokers. Light fleets landed fast, sold protection, and vanished before reinforcements arrived. Common question, were the Wokou just Japanese? No, they were mixed networks with Chinese, Japanese, and various mercenaries. Captured in 1559, Wang was executed, but the shortcut had already taught the market how to get around prohibitions.
In 1574, Limahong saw Manila, newly taken by Spain, as a hub to seize. He launched 2 amphibious attacks, a nighttime scaling of the walls, fires hostages in exchange for supplies, and retreat to Pangasinan when Hispano-Filipino militias reacted. What was he doing? Setting up a temporary base to repair holes, recruit, negotiate for food and timber, if the strike failed, vanish into the geography. A little-remembered detail, the clash sped up the fortification of Manila, consolidated the Acapulco-Manila galleon route, and raised the premium on Chinese cargo. Piracy follows money. When a new hub is born, the risk migrates. Limahong failed to take the city, but made it clear that European powers were changing the map of plunder. The focus turns back to the Fujian coast. Business, escorts, protection. Privateers shape tariffs and loyalties. In Fujian, Zheng Jilong turned piracy into a regular business, paid escort for convoys, formalized tolls, and something akin to maritime insurance. He triangulated with Batavia and Macau, sold protection, bought local loyalties, and dominated ports such as Xiamen and Quanzhou. A little-remembered detail, ledgers, marriages, and patronage created an influential Fujianese maritime bourgeoisie, tied into silver credit networks. In 1646, he surrendered to the Qing to preserve his assets. Later he fell from favor and was executed in 1661. Next, Zheng Chenggong, known to the maritime world as Kaxinga. Between 1661 and 1662, Cheng Chenggong, Kuxinga, expelled the Dutch from Fort Zeelandia and founded the Zhang regime in Taiwan. He turned privateers into an army, set up customs, organized agricultural colonization, and established diplomacy with kingdoms such as Ryukyu. A little-remembered detail, the Zhang regime standardized measures, registered land, and integrated peasants and merchants into a coastal tax machine. Organized maritime supremacy toppled a European colony and created a de facto state. Its immediate legacy was twofold. It inspired Chinese overseas commercial projects and terrified regional rivals. Kai Qian dominated the Fujian-Taiwan routes with light junks, efficient rigging, and discreet anchorages in the Penghu and Kinmen Islands and stretches of the Zhejiang coast. They attacked Qing convoys and Hokkien merchants, sold protection,
and resupplied in very short stops before reinforcements could react. Cornered in 1809, Chai took his own life, ending a career built on administrative cracks. This scene points to larger consortia, flags with rules, division of loot, mutual aid, and a chain of command. This architecture had one central name, that of Zhang Yi in Guangdong as well.
In the Pearl River Delta, Cheng Yi organized a confederation by flags, red, black, blue, and others, each with its own captains, revenue system, and rules of capture. Thousands of men and hundreds of junks operated between Guangdong, Hainan, and the Gulf of Tonkin, offering mutual aid and a clear chain of command. A little remembered detail: the flags levied taxes on coastal villages, regulated hostages, and punished dissenters with an almost state-like severity. In 1807, Cheng Yi died in a storm, but the architecture remained, too large to collapse with a single name. Widow of Cheng Yi, Qing Shi took command of the Red Flag Fleet and turned discipline into a strategic weapon. A strict code, harsh punishment for rape and internal theft, loot divided by percentage shares, and strict obedience in battle. Cheng Po Tsai, her adopted son and lover, became her most effective admiral. Under joint pressure from Qing forces, as well as Portuguese and Vietnamese fleets, Qing Shi negotiated an amnesty in 1810. Cheng joined the Qing Navy, taking ships, charts, and routes with him. She retired wealthy, with a gambling house and lasting local influence. Why accept the deal? Because keeping a fleet, wages, and gunpowder supplied is costly. Bargaining guaranteed a future.